You walk into a giant sports bar or maybe a high-tech command center, right? And there's this massive, completely flawless wall of screens.
Oh yeah, the classic video wall.
Exactly, like 16 monitors operating as one single cohesive image, and then suddenly, boom, they instantly break into 16 different live feeds without a hitch.
It really is like magic when you see it in person.
It is. And,
Yeah.
we usually just assume the sleek TVs were the ones doing the heavy lifting there. But for today's deep dive, we've been looking through some commercial AV specs from HDTVSupply.
Right, the vendor that's been outfitting these global systems for, what, 25 years now?
Yeah, 25 years. And it turns out the real magic is actually locked away in a rack mount closet in the back room.
Well, yeah, I mean, the monitors themselves are basically just dumb glass at the end of the day. What's actually pulling the strings is this heavy-duty commercial hardware, like specifically the Smart-AVI MXWALL-UHD series.
Okay, so break that down for me.
So it's essentially a highly specialized video wall processor and a matrix switch, just combined into one unit.
All right, let's unpack that matrix switch part because, whenever I hear matrix switch, my mind immediately goes to those standard HDMI splitters you can buy online for like 20 bucks.
Oh, sure. The ones where you plug in one input and it just clones it to multiple screens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why do we need this specialized, massive hardware to do something like that?
Well, because cloning one signal is easy, right? Routing completely independent, super high bandwidth data streams simultaneously, that is an entirely different beast.
Ah, okay.
Take their 16 by 16 model, for example. It is taking 16 separate HDMI 2.0 inputs. So that could be, different cable boxes, PCs, live cameras.
Just a huge mix of sources.
Exactly. And it routes them to 16 different outputs at the exact same time. But the real kicker here is that there's an integrated scaler on every single output.
Which is so crucial because live video feeds are always a total mess.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you might have some old 1080p broadcast coming in on input 3, but then a native 4K stream on input 5. If you feed that directly to a grid of screens, they would just blink, try to resync, or just throw up a black error box.
Right. The screens would freak out, but the processor automatically upconverts those lower res feeds to crisp UHD 4K on the fly, without skipping a beat.
Okay, wait. If it's handling that much data, how does it not just completely crash or lag?
Well, to understand that, you really have to look at the underlying hardware specs, because this isn't just running software on a standard CPU. It has dedicated physical pathways.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. To push uncompressed 4K video, you max out the HDMI pipeline at 18 gigabits per second.
18 gigabits.
Just for one screen, which is hard enough. But this box has the amplifier bandwidth to do it for 16 simultaneous feeds at the hardware level.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And that perfectly explains the seamless switching feature I was seeing in their spec sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're routing data through dedicated physical silicon rather than like buffering it through a software layer, you completely eliminate that bottleneck.
Right. So when you swap input 4 with input 12, it is completely instantaneous.
So no awkward black screens while a graphics card catches up.
No blank screens at all. But, managing that much raw data does require some very serious hardware. You are dealing with a 24.25-pound, 17-inch wide metal block here.
That is a beast of a machine.
It really is. But what's fascinating is the disconnect between that extreme physical bulk and the actual user experience.
Because you'd think you need an engineering degree just to change the channel on this thing.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But looking at the control options, yes, it has RS-232 connections for legacy systems and IP controls and front panel tactile switches. But despite all that complexity, it is strictly plug-and-play ready.
Right, you wire it up, but the actual orchestration happens in their Windows GUI, which is where you essentially build your digital canvas.
Okay, so you're not just stuck with a standard TV shape then?
Not at all. You get completely unlimited customized layouts. You can just drag and drop an ultra-wide banner display, like a 1x8 screen layout.
Oh, that's cool.
Or a massive 4x2 grid. And the hardware simply maps the pixels to match whatever layout you design.
Wow. But okay, if it requires dedicated enterprise-level silicon for every single input and output, this cannot be cheap. We are talking a massive commercial investment here.
Oh, it is a massive capital expense for sure. Getting pricing realities from the source, the 16 by 16 model alone is a major investment.
You can imagine.
And scaling up gets exponential. If you're outfitting a massive facility with their 32 by 32 version, you're looking at an MSRP of $25,499.
Ouch.
Though I should say it's currently discounted to around $17,849.
Okay, a little better, but still. What about the bigger ones?
Well, a massive 64 by 64 model runs upwards of $41,000, and that is on sale.
Man. Which, I mean, it makes sense. It's essentially a localized supercomputer dedicated entirely to pushing massive data streams at light speed.
That's exactly what it is, a heavy-duty traffic cop working relentlessly behind the scenes.
Right. So to summarize our deep dive for you today, the real magic of a flawless multi-screen video wall isn't in the displays themselves. They're basically just the canvas.
Yeah, the Matrix processor is the actual artist making it all happen.
Exactly. But here is an interesting thought to leave you with before we wrap up.
Lay it on me.
Right now, this 18 gigabit per second seamless switching matrix technology is locked behind a commercial paywall.
A very steep paywall.
Yeah. But as this tech inevitably shrinks and becomes cheaper, how long until the standard single TV in your living room is just completely replaced? Like, how long until our home walls are modular, unlimited layout video walls powered by an invisible processor exactly like this one?